Investing is too risky. Credit cards are bad. Keep your money in the bank. It can be hard to tell the good from the bad when it comes to people dishing out their financial advice. So here are 5 things I've been told to do with my money, and I'm glad I didn't follow their advice. Never use a credit card. Credit card debt is a problem. It's something many people face and puts a strain on lots of people's finances. They can, however, be a great tool to utilize. You can simply put all expenses related to one thing, fuel for example, onto a credit card. This makes it easier to track your fuel costs on a monthly basis. The biggest benefit though is that you can set up a sinking fund in your budget to pay off your fuel bill each month. I have used credit cards for a long time. I pay them off in full, have paid no interest to any of them, and have been able to use them to increase my credit score. I also get back on average £250 in cashback from my American Express card each year. Savings accounts are best. Even now, I have friends and family who are doing well and just keep throwing their money into a big pile of savings in their savings account. It's the safest thing to do. Okay, so let's be clear about this. I have money in a savings account. I also believe it to be vital for financial stability and security to have an emergency fund. I disagree, however, that it's growing my money and is the best place to put it. Currently, the inflation rate in the UK is around 9%, and the average instant access savings account interest rate is around 0.56%. Then it's clear that money in a savings account is losing value. So it's a great place to store money, as it is indeed protected by the FSCS for up to £85,000. They are also convenient and easy to access. They are therefore, in my opinion, essential for everyone to have as part of a good personal finance setup. However, I think it's time to look elsewhere for ways to actually grow your wealth, rather than, as is happening at the moment, slowly losing value in the money you are storing in a savings account. This leads me on to something you've probably guessed by now, which is investing is too risky. The interest on your savings can go up and down as shown earlier. It will not go negative, however, or is highly unlikely to. You will also be getting something extra, even if it's a really small amount. When it comes to investing though, you can lose money. That possibility instantly puts it in the too risky for me box and tossed aside. That's how I was brought up, and still the opinion of many of my peers. Yes, there is a risk with investing. Yes, you can lose money. Yes, you can pick a stock that absolutely tanks, hits rock bottom, and you lose it all. The opposite is true too, however. People have made fortunes from smart investing. So is it good or bad? Well, you should do your own research, or even speak to a financial advisor to get a personalised plan based on your circumstances. I got to the point where I felt financially stable and wanted to start actually growing my wealth. I'll talk more about that on my next point. For now, know that among some other strategies, I did indeed start investing. My personal investing strategy is thinking long term. I do not need to access any of this money in the short term. I'm being consistent and paying into my investments on a regular basis. I'm not trying to time the market. Look into dollar cost averaging if this concept is new to you. Lastly, my plan is diverse. I'm not looking to try and pick the perfect stock or find that golden opportunity. I am hoping to have slow yet steady growth from a collection of lower risk options. Looking into funds is a great way to manage that. And if you want to know more about my investing strategies and the platforms I use, let me know in the comments. My final point on trying to break down some resistance to investing is to point out a powerful fact. Since the inception of the S&P, a collection of the largest companies in America in 1993, it has averaged a return of over 11% each year. Over the last 20 years, 2002 to 2022, the average return per year was 8%, and over the last 10 years, the average return was 12%. An interesting point of comparison is that the average savings account interest has only ever been above 12% in a year once, and that was at the all-time high of 13.56% back in 1990. There will be days, months and years where the S&P 500 goes down, and the numbers show that, at least over the last 30-ish years, that it bounces back. So the longer you leave your money in, the less you are affected by the little ups and downs and can see the bigger picture of growing wealth. Sort out your pension when you're older. This is kind of a sentiment among many young adults. The truth is, when you speak to anyone that's looking into retirement plans and pensions, they will always say, "I wish I started sooner." Having money for now, such as an emergency fund and having a budget and good personal finance habits are essential. A part that often gets neglected though is, what about the future? What are you doing now that will make your finances better in 5 years, 10 years or beyond? What will your finances look like if you aren't working anymore? Where will your money come from? Will it be enough for the lifestyle you have now? How much will you need to live how you want when retired? These are all important questions to ask yourself. They don't always have easy or obvious answers, but I can assure you that trying to answer them now will make it easier for you down the road. You might not access your pension until you are older, but understanding them, managing them, and getting the most out of them now is a really, really good idea. Look into things like contribution benefits or consolidating pensions. Do your own research to find out what pensions you have and how you can make the most of them. Be safe with a 9 to 5. I think this trend is going our favour anyway. The pandemic opened the eyes to a lot of businesses as to how things could run differently. I have this in the list because I have experienced a lot of resistance from some friends and family at some of the decisions I have made around my business. In the end, I left a stable, secure and fairly well-paid job as a maths teacher, and I left that behind to work on my own business. I now make more money, have more time to myself and more control over my life, yet still get asked, "You're still getting work then?" with a concerned and somewhat disapproving tone. I'm sure it would make some people feel more comfortable if I went back to employed work and had a job that everybody understood. Having a stable income is essential, and the decision to switch wasn't easy. I also spent years growing my business and scaled over from teaching to looking after your pennies over time. I'm not knocking teaching or any other jobs, just saying that the world isn't like it used to be. It's not all suits and 9 to 5s. If you want to see a great way to figure out how much you need for your emergency fund or just to cut some costs, then check out this video here. Like if you found it useful, subscribe for more financial tips, and thank you for watching. Bye.